It's Double H here. As you may know, there is a Thor trailer out there. It's out there. It's fully out there. If you don't know about it, then you're on Cuckoo Landy Luli. A Thor trailer is out there. It's out. 5 minutes of footage. Well, 5 minutes 51 to be exact. Now, I'll first give my views on the Thor pictures that were released and just everything before seeing this trailer. When they announced Kenneth Branagh to be the director, I was like, this is the perfect director. This guy has single-handedly kept Shakespeare stuff alive and still relevant to today's society. And this guy, he's from the old school, of very grassroots, real filmmaking, like the theater and all that stuff, So I thought that, man, yeah, it's totally fits that, yeah, he's going to do Thor. So it's like, it fully fits, it's fully connected. Then they released the first image of Thor. And to be honest, when I saw that costume, I was like, it's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. It's not a bad costume. It's not bad. It's alright. But this is Thor. When you see Thor in the comics, it's like the guy, he's great. He's larger than life. When you see me, like, wow, Thor, this is like a very huge, magnanimous character. So I thought that, that was the kind of emotion that I wanted to get when you see Thor. It's like, man, this guy is huge. His costume is amazing. His armor is amazing. And he just, grabs your attention from the very first moment that you see him. And I didn't really get that from the costume. It was just sort of, okay. Then we started to look at more pictures and everything. And then that's when it got a bit edgy. Because when I saw the great Tony Hopkins in his armor, I was like, this isn't too good. This is not too good at all, because it just did not fit him. It just fully did not fit his body shape. So the costume just looked very weird. And when you just looked at more of the armor and everything, like, okay, this is a bit edgy. But then it's like, pictures are one thing. You don't got to see it in moving images. So I watched the trailer. I've seen it like 3 times now, just to fully take everything in. And the first thing you see afterwards, when Thor has actually been cast out onto Earth and he's been questioned by one of them S.H.I.E.L.D. guys. I'm looking at that thing, and especially when you see the way he took out the guys, I was like, is Kenneth Branagh directing this? Because this just seems like something that, the way the sequence was done of him taking out the S.H.I.E.L.D. guys, looked like something that Terry would do, or just some hack director would just do, because it just seemed very, this is, we've seen this in Ghost Rider, we've seen this in Fantastic Four, we've seen this in pretty much almost, we've seen this in Incredible Hulk, like this kind of just very blasé kind of, just taking the boxes direction, So when I saw it, I was like, wait, is Kenneth Branagh really directing this? And then, then obviously afterwards, you then now see Thor in his kingdom, And looking at it, to put it bluntly, look, man, Tony Hopkins was the best thing about that whole trailer. Fact. Again, Tony Hopkins shows that why this guy is a big-time actor. Like, he was the best thing about that trailer. Fact, hands down. So, afterwards, you see how he talks to Chris Hemsworth, who's plays Thor. And obviously, the first thing was talking about what is his and what is his acting like. And I don't know, when he obviously shouts at Odin, I was like, alright, okay, he's got, the whole arrogance thing there, but something just felt off. Again, you have to see more and all that kind of stuff, but something just felt off about the way he delivered that. I mean, Tony Hopkins was great. Tony Hopkins was great, and the Loki guy, I think, and obviously the guy wearing green, he was, I mean, he has, I mean, he has. I mean, I was feeling the vibes there, but obviously he didn't have that many lines, but I was feeling his vibe. But really, Tony Hopkins was pretty much the best thing about this trailer, and also as well, a lot of people who were very controversial about the whole Idris Elba casting, like the way he's been presented, like when you're looking at me, like wow, man, like you're like, man, who is that guy? So the way I think he's been presented and put across in that thing, I think they've given him contacts in his eyes, so he just comes across looking quite, daunting. So that's there, But then, I mean, obviously afterwards, you then look at Natalie Portman and when they go back to Earth and all that stuff. And after watching this trailer, I was like, I wasn't amazed. And look, man, guys, it's in good quality. The trailer is good quality. It's not like it's bad quality, so that will detract or make my views a bit skewed and all that kind of stuff. Go online, you can find it online. It is in great quality, so put that to one side. After I came away from that trailer, I was like, this doesn't feel like what I would imagine a Thor film to be. This is not even what I would imagine what a Kenneth Branagh directed Thor film would be like. There's no sense of grandeur. There was no epicness to the whole thing. It just felt like just another comic book movie. And forget about the Earth scenes. I'm even focusing on the scenes with Thor in his kingdom. Just when you just see him fighting and the whole vibe and just the way, the way it just looks, seems like this is just going to be another comic book movie. This is just going to be another comic book movie. I just don't get how this is a Kenneth Branagh film. I mean, because I told you like that. If my envisionment of a Kenneth Branagh Thor is that this thing is epic, this thing is old school, this thing. So basically, like it's almost like this is now a film first and a comic book after. It's a film based off a comic book. So you're gonna basically be reminded of like films like Ben-Hur, films like Nero. I mean, those olden days films like in Spartacus, where like this thing is it's where like it's all real sets. There's nothing cheap about it. There's nothing comic booky about it. It is very real, and it will remind you of the olden days of making films, where it was about the actors and the real sets. But with this, this just seems like a comic book movie. This just seems like a comic book movie. There's nothing special about it. Like there was nothing in that trailer that made me go, "Wow, that's amazing!" Like there was nothing that caught my eye. Obviously, Tony Hopkins was the best thing about that trailer. Idris Elba looked good in the trailer. I mean, okay, like the kingdom looks pretty nice and quite, but it's like it just seemed like nothing new. Like it doesn't seem like if Kenneth Branagh is offering me something like when you see Burton and Batman, he's offering you a darker Batman, a much more mystical and mysterious Batman in another different world. Nolan is offering you a very real, realistic film, down to the bare bones Batman. And Donna's offering you like this is Superman. This is like the very romanticized, epic. Perfect example. When you look at Donna's Superman, even when you look at the trailer, you already have a sense of epicness to it. When you look at that Superman trailer for the first film, when you look at this trailer, the way it's cut, the way it's edited, and just the stuff that is there is like, especially with the rock music and everything, just seems like okay, this is just a comic book movie. Who knows? Oh, maybe the film will be different from the trailer. But looking at that trailer and the images I saw, this is not something that excites me. It's not something that thrills me. And I'm still not convinced that Chris Hemsworth is the right guy for Thor, from the Thor that I read in the comics. In those Marvel vs. DC cracks. So yeah, I think on Thor, on the fence, but more off the fence than on the fence, or rather over the fence. All right, peace.